My name is Fumi Bangbala, and it's a pleasure, it's a delight to do this with you this morning. We are currently in the newspaper review segment of the Full Breakfast Show, and we are just going to hit the ball running because things be happening in the Nigerian polity. Oh my goodness, things be happening, and it's just I don't even want to say it's mind blowing. I was going to say heartbreaking. Well, a little bit of it is heartbreaking, but it's just mind blowing. So we are going to get into the thick of things right now. Of course, we have our analyst joining us this morning, but he's going to join us shortly. But let's get into the headlines this morning. But first, how are you? How are you doing? How was your weekend? Hope it was fine. The numbers to call, if you want to tell me how your weekend was, 07000 917 to tell me how your weekend was. I actually want to know. Joining me is Rose Yusuf Kaisa. Good morning, Rose.
Good morning, Fumi. How are you today? How's the
Oh,
weekend?
the weekend. I have to think about it. The weekend was busy. The weekend was busy. It was very full, yes.
Hmm.
But then, yeah, but it was a good weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
It's not like I went out, or I didn't go out, or it was just really busy. Uh-huh.
It's good to be here this morning to start off the
Yes,
week with
yes,
all the issues that we need to talk about this morning. So, good morning once again to our newspaper review family.
yes. All right, let's get into the headlines this morning. First, starting with the Punch newspaper, we have under Buhari, Tinubu, 500 generals forced out despite rising insurgency. I actually saw this morning, and I quickly did a. Cause wondering why turns out that there's been appointment of new army chiefs and stuff like that, so they were forced out, and I was just like, that's people losing their jobs, oh, but it is well. Next up on the headlines, we have five pregnant Ondo girls rescued from baby factory. The owner arrested. I was very delighted to see this. In
Yeah.
fact, I said this in the news this morning. I was very, very delighted because you're exploiting young girls using their wombs is one like using their wombs, and then you're not even letting them go. They're right there in the factory just making babies for you day in day out. I mean, people are wicked though, but okay.
Mhm. People are wicked. It's just a lot. And all at the end of the day because of money, greed, So, I mean, it's just a lot. I just wish sometimes they can just, remove some people's brain, clean it, and then put it back because maybe it's too dirty.
Yep, I agree 100%. Yes.
All right, let's head on to the next headline this morning. Still on the newspaper review, heading on to The Guardian. The Guardian says Constitution Review. How Deputy Speaker Kalu helped secure extra state for Southeast. And then another one says crime is not genius. APC react to obese Yahoo boys genius comments.
We are going to be talking about the extra seats. So they want to move 6 extra states rather for the
Hmm.
Southeast. So we're moving from 36 states to 42.
Hmm. And that's in the southeast. So imagine others, because I know for Kaduna there was one time they brought up the issue of creating extra states from Kaduna. So I don't know, the issue just later died down. And apart from that, so many other states like that. So just talking about increasing the state or dividing the state into more states.
Mm-hmm.
Like if people should calm down, even the ones that we have, even the ones that are there, it's not like we're finished taking care of them.
Right,
Maybe dividing it to actually give more attention to a lot of issues.
right.
Because when you look at some local governments, it will be like for the 4 years or the 8 years that the governor has been there, like he doesn't even know that they exist. So
Yep.
maybe when this is done, then we could see more improvement. Well, let's see what the government says about this.
Yeah, well, moving on to the This Day newspaper, which says Adedeji FIRS collected 22.59 trillion naira in 9 months, 47.39 trillion naira in 2 years.
Oh boy, this is a lot.
Boy, yeah.
This is a lot. But with the new tax reforms, though, would they be able to be getting this? Anyway, it's possible because they probably are concentrating on, the bigger companies who are already doing well. So, well, let's see how next year unfolds as regards
My
to,
question even is
tax.
these taxes they're collecting, please. Maybe you are seeing it. Me, I've not. Are you seeing the? Are you seeing the dividends of the taxes?
But that's the thing. That's the thing, though, and that's why Nigerians are complaining. We're collecting a lot of this money. Meanwhile, we can't see good roads. Is either the same roads that you're saying you're building or you're trying to do now? In the next 4 years or next 8 years, somebody else will come out and say that road that you are doing is rubbish. Let me go and do my own. So there's no continuity. I
Right.
don't know. It's just a lot. Housing is
Mhm.
not going down. So transportation is not going down. Okay, what now? And all.
Mhm.
So it's just sometimes it could just be a lot for citizens to actually see the dividends of democracy,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you know that when you go to the market, Gary that you bought yesterday for 250 is now going for 500. You will sit down and complain. Anyway, that's not the price now, but I mean,
Yes, that would have been it. Anyway, the next headline on the this day newspaper says Lamido joins PDP national chairmanship race. Picks nomination form today. Okay.
okay, we're beginning to see them. All right, let's head on to Daily Trust. High rent driving us out of Abuja residents. Hmm. Abuja and Lagos, I don't know which one is competing now because
My
it be like
sister.
Abuja don't be Abuja is just getting is getting out of hand. All right, another one says farmers and federal government disagree over drop in food prices. Should we were talking about this just last week. You see, we're talking about it just last
No,
week.
it's
Federal
not related to fights
government,
for last week. Yeah, I mean, truth. When I read it, they said, "Oh, it's because of this, it's because of that." I was just like, "Are we all?" And I've been saying it that it looks like our politicians, they seem to be tone deaf because what do you mean? Anyway, in the Vanguard newspaper, we have Neka Man Nasima rejects Senate's NSITF take over. Next up, we have property demolition in Lagos. Igbo Town Unions petition US ECOWAS court. I do not remember who it was. I think it was Adeyemi and somebody that we had this conversation with. And I had asked that people, like, is it not seeming targeted, these demolitions? And he had said no. Again, just to strike a balance, are these buildings, the government is saying that these buildings are illegal. Nobody's arguing with that. The nitty gritty of whether it is actually illegal or not, I know they, because they said it's illegal, it's in this constitution, it's illegal building. Okay, no wahala. But when it seems like the only illegal buildings that you are demolishing are from a particular tribe, I mean, let's not deceive ourselves. Like, let's not disrespect ourselves with folly and say that's not what is happening. Like, if people begin
hmm,
to say it looks like it is targeted, you need to be able to listen to say, okay, maybe there's some level of truth in
hmm,
this. It's different if it was a mixed, if the area, because there's certain places in Lagos that are certain tribes are there, there are more, some places that you go that is just Yoruba people you find there. There's some places that you go that is just Hausa people you find there, or Igbo
yeah,
people. There's some places that you see a good mix. But when every time you're going to demolish, it is just a particular tribe that it's always the place where a particular tribe lives. The argument of whether those buildings are illegal or legal begins to,
it just goes down.
do you understand? So
Yes, it
so
just
we'll
goes
see
down.
how this comes out. Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
All right, on Premium Times, Warri Itakwe train services set to resume. Lagos police react to allegations of attacking residents during Oworoshoki night demolition. Okay, we're still on this case. I remember when I think Emmanuel was on that route that particular day that the demonstration was going on. We also saw some videos, that was taken. So I mean, I thought by now this would have been sorted, but hey, we're still on this. Okay, all right, let's head on to the nation.
It is well. In the Nation newspaper, we have National Assembly Constitution Review Panel proposes 6 new states.
Hmm.
We just talked about that now. Then Dangote Refinery eyes 55 billion turnover on 1.5 million barrels
Per day.
per day expansion.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right, on the cable, NOA, that's National Rotation Agency, says Nigeria's debt profile decreased under Tinubu's administration, contrary to public perception.
Really?
You know, this actually
Is it
so
not
when
good
people,
to want to borrow money? I don't understand.
so this is where the issue of transparency comes in.
Mm.
You get, because when Emmanuel will come and say, okay, you're saying this is it. Meanwhile, we are saying another thing. So, what is probably the whole press of the government house, of all of these agencies, what are they actually doing to make sure that all these things are being transparent and is out there? Because when you come out and you're saying something else, and then we're saying that there's borrowing, 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 borrowing. I'm like,
Even, do you understand? Even you as a normal human being, if you borrow from your brother, you borrow from your friend, you borrow from your parents, you borrow from those loan sharks, somebody now comes and says, "Oh, actually, the debt profile has reduced." Maybe what they're saying is that if they used to borrow like from 10 people, they reduced it to 4 people. They say, they say,
let's just leave it like that. All right. Heading on to the next one. Federal government introduced law mandating public officials to fly Nigerian airlines on international routes.
love it. Absolutely. This one, I was excited. Yes. We'll be talking. Quite a few of our parliamentarians, quite a few of our, our newspaper family have called in to say, why are they not using the airlines? Why are their children not going to our schools? Why are they not using our hospitals? Let's go. This is it.
Another thing is that for me, is wanting to talk on paper and is wanting to do it. Because when you talk on paper, it's just for you and me to read it so that our mind will just go down small and say,
Yeah.
oh, things are beginning to change. Meanwhile, they're busy flying up and down using.
Oh my, oh my, oh
So it's
my.
one thing to have it on paper, and it's another thing to actually have it happen, like happen. So
Mm-mm.
if we're seeing this happening, federal government introducing law mandating public officials to fly Nigerian airlines, don't forget that the public officials are still the federal government. I mean,
Yeah,
you say
yeah,
federal government mandating, so they are mandating themselves right now.
yeah.
So how many of them will actually sit down to follow this?
It
So
has to be
why
in the constitution. It has to be in the constitution for you to work.
exactly? Even if
Yeah.
it's there, so gone for me.
They have a way that they,
We could know ourselves in this country. That's the thing. We know
oh
ourselves.
dear Lord.
We know ourselves. Foreigners say not to
Oh.
take the post.
Oh no, you have one more in the Daily Post. Namdi Kanu held unjustly, says Senator Nwoko.
Hmm.
Okay.
All
Last week, we
right.
had the Tribune newspaper Ekiti 2026, 885 delegates to affirm Oyebanji as APC consensus candidate today. And lastly, we have Dangote set to expand refinery to 1.4 million barrels per day.
Yeah.
Those are the headlines this morning. Okay, Rose, you want to go ahead?
All right. These are the headlines this morning. Feel free to react to any of them this morning because a lot of them would definitely, want to poke you here and there in your
Yep,
body.
yep,
And if you want to react to it,
yep.
then please feel free to do so. The numbers to do so through WhatsApp or text message is 070 or 08155 So yes, our toll free lines are back. Our toll free line is back.
Yay.
Yes, so feel free to dial the toll free line 0800 1235 917. That's our toll free line 0800 1235 917. So feel free to call in and of course send in your WhatsApp message. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7 and it's about 16 minutes to 8 on the side of the radio. My name is Rose and Fumi is with me this morning on the newspaper review. And we have our analyst joining us this morning. Emmanuel, how are you today? How's the weekend? And how is every? This work from home sharp. Let's not see Emmanuel.
Good morning, Rose, and
Emmanuel. Good
good
morning,
morning,
Emmanuel.
Umi. Trust you ladies are doing quite okay this morning. Well, the weekend was good, and every as you've asked is fine, and we can only make it better from fine.
Hmm.
Emmanuel, these days you've been coming with serious face. I don't even know which side to bring. But how were you? How was your week last week? I'm aware that you had gone, to cover an
We
event
went
last
with
week.
it.
How
Yeah.
was it? Did you get to rest over the weekend?
Well, as Thomas Shelby rightly said in Peaky Blinders, he said, "There's no rest for me in this world."
Wait,
Perhaps
did you just quote
after
Peaky Blinders?
I'll continue to
Hmm.
work until I find the man I can't defeat. So basically, that's just it. You keep working, and that's just the way it is.
Only you, Emmanuel, will quote somebody from a series and make it seem like it was maybe an aristocrat or be
I'm telling
a philosopher that spoke. I was like, wait, oh, wait, what? Please.
All right, Ivano, it's good to have you here. Let's quickly jump into the headline. Let's start up with this one. This
Mhm.
National Assembly approves creation of 6 new states. So, this is coming from Premium Times. We'll just quickly go through this. Constitution review. National Assembly Joint Committee approves creation of 6 new states. Now, a bit of the report says National Assembly Joint Committee on Constitution Review has approved the creation of 6 new states, one in each of Nigeria's geopolitical zones, as part of its resolution in the ongoing review of the nation's constitution. It ratified the number of states in the country will rise from 36 to 42, with the Northwest having 8, the Northeast, North Central, Southwest, and South South having 7 each, and the Southeast 6. Now, the decision was reached during a 2 day retreat held in Lagos from Friday to Saturday. The committee also resolved to establish subcommittees to determine the specific areas from which the 6 new states to be created. Well, it just goes on and on. But then again, Emmanuel, this is what we really need, additional states, because this will mean that more governors, this will mean more sharing of the revenue, this will mean more sharing of the security votes, this will mean additional stress probably on the federal government. But let's not also forget that in all of these geopolitical zones, for all the leaders that we have in all of these geopolitical zones, it's not like they are effectively managing the states. Now, would we say that the states are too big for one person to manage? Or we have to create new states for somewhere? And we know that if we're looking at the geographical area, some states are bigger than some states. Like you could probably form 2 states from one state. If you look at what's this Oyo that is just beside us here, is another, it's one. If you look at some southwest states, it's what's going on there. So sometimes when you look at going by the geographical area, one will want to say, okay, maybe this should be the way forward, because like I was saying earlier before you came in, there are some local governments that the governors will go in to serve them for the first term, even with the second term, and they would not even know that anything is happening. It just be like, she governor, you don't forget, say this place is part of the state, or what going on. But meanwhile, you probably see that there are some, works going on in some other parts of the state. And after 8 years, you look at it, wow, we don't even smell convoy for this side, safe, nothing, nothing. Even the chairman gone is just quiet, nothing is happening. So could this be maybe what Nigeria needs? And when we want to look at it from the security aspect too, maybe, there'll be more results, positive results, if the states are being, if we have more states and more governors that would concentrate on making the states better in every aspect of it, protecting lives and property and all of it. Let's hear from you, Manu.
Well, let me pick from where you stop. Starting with the security aspect, are we going to have changes? I'll say no, because security architecture does not answer to the state governors. Commissioner of police in the state does not answer to the governor. Technically, they answer to the inspector general of police, who is in Abuja. The IGP answers to the president. So if we think creation of more states would enable us solve this insecurity problem, I beg to differ. Because one thing is, you look at some states that are having insecurity, and I ask, what is the size of these states? We talk about states that are very big. We talk about states like Niger. We talk about Oyo. Niger is like one of the biggest. Niger is even equivalent to the size of some countries who are doing very well. So you look at it and you ask yourself the basic question: have we been able to even manage productivity in the states that we have? Is creation of more states what the country needs right now? See, for some political gladiators who feel that if there is no new state, their dream of becoming governors might not come to fulfillment. And I don't want to mention names, but I think there is one, it's
Mention,
Delta,
mention.
in Delta State and near Mass State that they want to create.
Yeah.
There are people that are pushing for it, and I know about two of them is eyeing being the first to be the first governor of that state. So you look at it and then you look at the motive behind the creation of this state. What exactly is the motive? Don't forget that the creation of new states brings about the creation of more local government,
Yeah.
Mm.
brings about an expanded budget for us, because now we have to ensure that dividends of democracy through budgetary gets to nooks and crannies and gets to every state that has been created. So the question still remains, is creation of new states what Nigeria needs? There are some school of thought that will argue that Nigeria needs states for balance, for equity, and for justice. But mine is the fact that the ones we have, what have we done with them? There are pressing issues. See, if Nigeria were to be practicing true federalism, I would have argued that creation of state is good, because power is decentralized, power is given to the people. We practice federalism on paper, while what we practice looks more like we are having a central government. So when you look at it, federalism means power to the state, then there's a central government working. But what we see is that power to the central government, the state government are lazy. When we create more, if we create more states, is it going to add to our GDP? We are looking at reaching $1 trillion dollar economy. How is that going to help us? So these are factors that we need to put in place. These are things that we need to manage. But it has not been passed into law yet. It's still in the process stage. They still need to vote. They still need to have a formal request by 2/3 of elected representatives from the area. They still need to have a whole lot of things still needs to be done. But this has been in the pipeline for a while. I know they want Oyo want a state. They want to split, what's it called? Is it Oyo into two?
Yeah.
But the question for me has always been, what does the number of states we have now, what do they add to us? Look at their IGR, look at their productivity rate. What have they done except sharing federal allocation? So we are bringing in more states to share the federal allocation. These are just, see, we don't have creative governors, we don't have creative leaders, and this is why we have suffered. We don't have leaders with foresight, leaders who thinks into the future. We don't have them, and this is why we have suffered. We have leaders who are focused on power grab, staying in power, just getting to position of power and being called by title. And I have a fear, because in this part of the world, maybe because of our low self-esteem or because of the way we've been colonized, we are so much focused on bearing titles. And then when we bear titles, what do we do with those titles?
That's so good.
Very, very ineffective set of people bearing titles, but they are not even effective with their titles. So the question is, we are going to have more governors. And I ask, the group of governors that we have right now, 36 of them, what have they done? Have we really felt the dividends of democracy from them? Have they really managed their states very well? So people will say it's for equity, but I ask, what is equity? What is justice without peace? What is peace without justice? I beg your pardon. So you look at all these things and then you ask the question, is this what we should be discussing right now? What is creation of states if there's no electoral reform? What is creation of states if leaders will be rigged in? What is creation of states if a state governor will open his mouth and say there is incentive for voters who win their
Don't go
ward
there,
and
because
all?
that's our next headline. Don't go, that's our next headline.
What will the creation of states add to us? See, I want us to come from the from the side of value this morning. If we are practicing federalism, I have no issue with creation of states. But because we don't practice true federalism, our federalism is only on paper. Now, we are talking about creation of states, and I ask 6 more states. What is, see, if they are looking at, some states are too big, like Niger State, very hard to govern, and I can buy that argument. But for example, I looked at the southeastern part of the country. Look at the size of the states that we have. Some of the smallest states, and you still want to carve out another state when what you should be giving to the people of the southeastern part of the country is not a state, but you should be giving them dividends of democracy. Let them feel that they
Yes.
are a part of Nigeria.
Yes.
Listen to their agitation, listen to their cry. Let the scar of the civil war be healed. Let the wound go. Let us work together as one Nigeria. You still want to carve out a state from those small states when their governors could have governed well and the federal government could have involved them well in the place of democracy. So
Hmm.
you look at all these things, I look at the argument and I see a lot of argument, and I'm afraid if this is the way we think in Nigeria, because I want to know those who, no, it's a constitutional right, but I want to know those who submitted referendum for us to have new states, because I cannot be in that council and agree to this. So it's just something that we need to like sit down. I'm very sure at this stage they might have done all the politicking and it's my past, but when it's passed into law, what will be the hope of a new people? Maybe they are going to cut Fumi, and Fumi will come from Ijebu State now or something, I don't know. But or they are going to cut Rose, and Rose we have uh, maybe another state from a part of Kaduna, but I don't know. So it just depends. But when you even have another state, what will be your own dividends? Does it make your life better? Does it bring the goodies of democracy to you? The answer will still be known, because we can't. Nigeria cannot be governed by the worst of us, and then we expect something unique to happen. Creation of state is just us parabolating in one circle when we have more pressing issue that would ensure we have a strengthened democracy. If our democratic system is strengthened, then creation of states would not be a problem at all, because we know that we are trying to ensure that everyone is carried along. South State, where you might talk about Delta, you might talk about Edo, that they are big, but apart from that, are you going to call Bayelsa? So you look at all this,
Yeah.
and
Because
then we
Delta
ask.
just has 8 local governments and
So
still.
well, it's the constitutional right to do, and it's the law. The power is given to them in the constitution, and let's just hope that at the end of the day, uh they create the state and the state proves me wrong when created, because I want to be proved wrong. I love being proved wrong. And the state proves me wrong, that my analysis and opinion today did not matter in the scheme of things, because the people of this new state are getting the dividends of democracy. But at the end of the day, I have a feeling that my analysis will matter, because Nigerian politicians and Nigerian political class, Nigerian leaders and Nigerian followers have a certain mode of operation, have a certain behavioral pattern that I've not been proved wrong in a long time, because I predict what they do and I know how they
Oh,
would do it.
shit.
Now the battle for who is going to be the next governor of this state will start, politicking
What's
will
that?
start, and then the
Yeah.
worst of them also would have to rule the best of them.
Whew. Wow. Who's going, me or you, Rose? Because that was a lot
Just
to
go
take in.
ahead. Just go ahead.
That
I mean,
was a lot
it's
to take in. Wow,
well,
Emmanuel, if there's anything I'm going to take from what you said, it is that value. What value are you bringing if you want to establish more states? Because right now, we were just talking about from the headlines how Nigerians are complaining about food, the prices of food. They're complaining
mhm.
about the prices of rent, for instance, things, basic things that should aid their living, you know. And now you want to add to more states, add more states to the current ones that we have. We've not even seen the dividends of what we have
On ground
currently.
first.
How much more, that it's just sad, because again, it might be like you said, another money making venture, federal
Mm.
allocation you take, reach you as citizen, but you're seeing politicians, you're collecting, you're collecting. It's really sad. We'll take some messages now. Beautiful morning to you all in the studio. Economy recovery by finance minister. Please help me ask the finance minister why the economy was sick before. Is it the APC government that killed the economy? Since 2015 till date, APC has been toiling with the economy of Nigeria because they have no idea or direction how to run governance. Please, you people should stop deceiving yourselves. The petition against Lagos State for demolishing ego properties to UN and ECOWAS is a welcome development, because going to Nigerian courts is a waste of time. The judiciary has been pocketed. The sack of the military personnel's is their own business because they sold themselves out to the politicians. So let them face the music. Oh God, arise and trouble those that are troubling Nigerians. Mayor from Ikotoingbe, thank you so much for your message. Mayor, I particularly like how every time you send in messages, you're talking even your talking points also come from the headlines. And this is why we do what we do. We make our headlines exhaustive enough for you to take your own part. So thank you for your message. Olushaka Ajayi from Ebronla Ikorodu says the overhauling of the nation's top military hierarchy came as a surprise, even though it was expected. Members of the new national security team are expected to play major roles as the new administration lays out a new strategy to prosecute the security challenges bedeviling the nation. I particularly expect to see a major expansion in the size of the Nigerian army. Okay, we also have this one. Hayford Osage says, beautiful morning, women radio. Creating of states is never our problem. High cost of living, high cost of food prices, and those sponsoring terrorists and bandits should be fished out and dealt with. We literally just said this right now. These are Nigerians' problems. What does creating of states have to do with solving the current economic crisis in the country? Creating more states is opportunity for our leaders to loot the country's fund. That's just it. Very cunning set of people we have in this country. Thank you so much for your message, Hayford Osage. The number to call still, the phone lines are now open: 07000 917 You can call us now to weigh in on what we've been talking about. All right, we're going to move to the next headline, which Emmanuel sort of touched on when he was coming for the government, which is Soludo from the Punch newspaper. Actually, from quite a few headlines this morning.
Yeah,
One
that's okay.
million naira promise for voters to curb apathy. Rose, if you remember, last week, I think, was it Ondo State? Yes, or it was Ondo State that said they promised 400,000 votes. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
And
I
I
do.
remember saying that, wait, what do you mean you are promising
You're
votes? Like,
promising.
how
And it's
much,
not the first person to make those kind of promises.
like, what are we doing in this country? And it says, oh, the money will be paid. So here's my thing, and I want to say this very, very carefully. Collect the money, but still vote your votes. Because
Now your
it's,
money, that's was.
and I think that's the thing, like you're capitalizing on poverty, you're capitalizing on the fact that Nigerians are hungry. Like you should be ashamed of yourself that as the governor of a state, people are still hungry. Emmanuel, I'm just going to let you do justice to this.
Well, I think listening to Governor Soludo's statements, I was taken back because Soludo was one of the people I saw back then growing up as someone who would be able to do a whole lot more when given the mantle of leadership in the country. But it saddens my heart that, see, when you perform as a governor, you don't need to make promises to people to give them something. There are some governors that, if I'm not just mentioning names this morning, there are some governors that if at the end of the day, second term, there are people will vote them in. It's sure. I can give you one or two states that those governors are sure banker for second term. But what has Soludo done? I think the opposition has said that what he said is tantamount to vote buying, and he said no. But may I remind the professor that what the constitution says is right, and if he doesn't know or his team doesn't know, they need to go back and read what the Electoral Act says. But the truth in Nigeria is, I think political class says things and goes away with it. That is why a poor man will steal chicken and you see his face for crime fighter is displayed. But a rich man will steal billions and then they will tell you they are investigating. That is the truth.
Yeah.
So my first, I will start by telling the people that he has promised you 1 million, 5 million naira if you win your ward. Let me tell you and let me say to you as a Nigerian that you see Nigerian political class during campaign, you don't see them after the election.
Yeah.
The 1 million or 5 million he has promised you, when he wins, if he wins, you are not going to get it.
Yeah.
You're just going to cry. And this is their formula that you ought to know for years. But I don't know why my people perish because of lack of knowledge. They seem not to know when the truth is just in front of them. Knowledge is something, and wisdom, like Solomon prayed for, is something that I feel like we should be praying for Nigerians. In church, in mosques, they say we should pray for our leaders, that God should grant them more wisdom. But I think we should start praying for the citizens, that God should grant us more wisdom, because it's
Yeah.
as if the leaders are getting wiser in their antics to deceive the people, while the people are not getting smarter in their antics, because all prayers are channeled at the leaders. So the truth about this right now is, what does the law say? Under the current electoral act, what is vote buying? It says a person who corruptly, by himself or any other person, at any time after the date of an election has been announced, directly or indirectly gives, provides, or pay money for the purpose of corruptly influencing that person or any other person to vote or refrain from voting at such election, or being a voter corruptly accept or take money or other inducement, commit an offense. So what Soludo has said falls under this, because he said he's trying to ensure that people turn out to vote. People turning out to vote does not mean you induce them with money. You are saying that go and win your word for me and get a cash reward, get a monetary reward. So if as a professor, apologies, he might not be a professor of the law, but law is just common sense for every one of us. If as a professor, it doesn't know that this part exists in the Constitution, I think he needs to sit down with the Attorney General of the state and have a conversation on what the law says. So, and Section 121 sub 2 also speaks to the fact that if you as a voter accept money or any gifting that refrain you or induce you to vote, you've also engaged in vote buying. But this is not the first time. Vote buying has been going on in different ways, from Maggi to spaghetti to anything. Voters have been induced with the least things in the society, and they've sold their future for just a cup of rice.
Hey.
And this is the way the political class have operated for years, ensuring that the people don't get the dividends of democracy, so that when they call this cash reward, when they call this gift, when they call this food reward, people who live in poverty that just wants to survive for the day don't think about the future. And it is the way the political class has operated. That was why I said minutes back that my people perish for lack of knowledge. That if they know that the power given to them, that what they have is far greater than what this political class offers, they would decide better. So Soludo might be saying that, oh, the pledge of reward is based on achieving certain performance metrics, high votes, turnaround, and all. Well, why is in government and saying that the ward that comes first gets 5 million? Any ward that wins again will receive 1 million.
Like,
it's just that's an open inducement if he doesn't know, and a gross violation of the Electoral Act. So this is what I believe they should be telling Charles Chukwuma Soludo. Because see, the law is clear. He said the participation of the people in their government shall be ensured. Ensured, that word ensured makes sense, because people have a right to participate. That means the process of governance, people shall be a part of it, and the process of governance is also election. And you don't induce people based on their fundamental human rights. That is in Section 14 sub 1c. So what has Soludo done is, if he doesn't know, is an open inducement. In my own opinion, that might not be the opinion of Women Radio, but in my own opinion, Soludo has done open inducement of voters. And when you do open inducement of voters, I feel this is the time INEC should come into place. But for me, INEC sometimes are like the sleeping umpire in a football match that allow tackles to fly.
Hold on a minute, Emmanuel. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Women Radio. Good morning, Women
Radio. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. I'm fine. Thank God. Any day I sleep and wake up, I glorify God. Many have come this morning. I quite agree with what Emmanuel is saying, but Emmanuel, with the electorate, I was one that, as in some of these politics, I was one woman at least a woman leader around this. That's what she was saying. Especially the fear of voting. People will say, what will you give me? What will you give me? But don't give them
Evangelist,
anything.
we
And
can
when you
hardly hear you, or is it
hello,
just me?
hello,
Can you,
hello,
I mean,
can you hear me now?
Evangelist, we can hardly hear you.
Okay, maybe let me call back.
Okay. Yes, please. Thank you so
that's
much.
better.
So basically, as I was saying, like an open inducement is taking place, but we know those who ought to act would not act. And Nigeria is a country whereby issuing statements is seen as daily job by those who ought to act and protect the constitution. So what we've seen for the November 8th election coming up in Anambra State is an act of desperation by a sitting governor who should have the upper hand based on the fact that you've performed and people have seen what you've done. But if people have not seen what you've done, that is when this open inducement comes into place. Charles Chukwuma Soludo, if you have done well, you should be having a safe ride to the government house for the second term. But I'm not a citizen of Anambra State. I would ensure, I would just leave that for your citizens to determine November 8th.
Yes.
They are the one that will choose whether you've done well or you've not done well. But in my own opinion, if you had actually done well, inducement of voters ought not to be on your table right now. You should be saying that we did this for you, we did this for you, we did this for you, we did this for you. And you give us 4 more years to complete this. You give us 4 more years because out of the 100 things we said we are going to do for you in the first term, 90% of them is being completed.
Yeah.
And the 10% that we are not able to complete is due to funds. But we promise that we would not leave any. See, campaign is based on achievement and what you want to do. And campaign is based on your plans for the people. But it's only in this part of the world that I see that campaign is based on dance and drama. No plan for the people and shouting of party slogan. We shout APL and then they shout the party slogan and then we waste money bringing women from far and near just to listen to the shouting of a party slogan when the basic thing of how they would live their life, how the future of their children will be, is not being discussed. I hate political rallies because they don't speak to the fact, they don't even understand the needs of the people. That is where when a Nigerian politician will build roads when the basic thing they need is water. A Nigerian politicians will construct shopping complex, shopping plaza when the basic thing they need is school. They are never in tune with the people. I don't want to mention a particular place where they need basic healthcare, where they need school, where they need a lot of things, water, and then what they are constructing up and down is roads. Roads is good, gives you access, open up economic opportunity. But what is the need assessment of the people? So if Soludo had actually conducted and attended to the needs of the people of Anambra State, I believe this statement should not have come out from his mouth. And we should be careful because, see, when we say breach of electoral act, it doesn't come from me and you. Though me and you also sometimes we are in breach of electoral act because we collect this inducement from them. And when you collect to influence your decision, you are breaking the law. So for me, I think if some people say that no, we are trying to curb vote buying, I feel at this point it's going to be hard because, see, if you've covered election before, you are going to see people going home with cups of rice, people going home with cash gifts as low as 2,000, 10,000. And it reminds me of Esau, who sold his birthright for porridge. We've done that a lot in Nigeria. Every election cycle, selling our birthright for porridge. And then we ask, why are we not rated? Why don't we get the blessing that we deserve as a citizen? You can't get the blessing when you've sold your birthright. And what?
Okay, we have a call.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yes, we're just calling back.
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. It's better.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. It's
can
better.
I go on? Okay. Good morning, everybody in the studio. Good morning, man. I like quite agree with some of the things you are saying, but yes, the leader has their problem. The literate say is themselves. But the last election, this one are witnesses. Some people do not go out to vote, and they start them at home, and they've already read the election. Some of them ask them to go and vote. They say, what am I going to get? What are they giving me? And when we are like this, tell me how are we going to move forward? I know what I'm saying. You should go out. If you collect the money, you are due to. Don't collect the money, vote for me. I will not collect. In my polling vote where I voted, so many of them, many of them collected money, some collected right and other disease. But my conscience will not allow me to do that. Because if I collect, I'm equally guilty of their corruption. On the rent, that shows how wicked they are. It's almost everywhere. But we thank God we still have some good landlords. And that's what I'm saying. How we are treating one another. When we are treating one another like this, how are we going to move forward? God is not going to be happy with us, and that's why God is here at prayer. I want to on demolition. Those people they are demolishing their house, did they have approval? If they don't have approval, if they demolish, I don't have anything on that. If they have approval, let them sue the government. And I would like all Nigerians. We should fly here. I like the home that the government makes. Let's fly Nigeria here. Buy a Nigerian car. Eat Nigerian rice. Build more refinery. So that we will not import it. So that our naira will grow. I've enjoyed this country. I still enjoy it again. Nigeria will be great again. We all should do what is right. Forgetting whatsoever another. We should not say, of course, our leaders are not doing so. Also, we also should know. Let us do the right thing anyway. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you so much for calling. I really like the last point. Let's fly Nigeria. Before you go on, good morning. We have a comment here. Hello. Prince. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, please call. The number to call is 07000.
Hello.
Please try to call back because we cannot hear you. It's echoing. Please try to call back. We can't even hear you. We don't. Okay, I'm told this is Mrs. Oboli, but we can't even hear you from here. Please try to call back, please. Thank you. This comment is from Prince. He says, Emmanuel, thank you for today's blows. You really speak as an Emmanuel. We do not look back to call black white. This is so Prince puts his full name just as what they call it, solidarity. He says Prince Emmanuel Akoji, representing the people of good conscience. I love to hear from
that Emmanuel they actually speak the truth. That's what he's saying. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's so dramatic. We love it. Hayford returns back to say they're not planning to pay off the debts borrowed or how to reduce hunger in the land. Always saying off point. Who are they deceiving? Are we babies? He also says, I beg, play crazy things are happening. This guy deserves a word. Okay, Emmanuel, please go ahead.
Let me ask. I have a question for Chukuma Soludo. If his people are listening or anybody close to him is listening, the 1 million, the 5 million naira, is it coming out from his pockets? How much was his worth before he became a governor? It was just a CBN governor.
Emmanuel's coming with everything today.
No, I'm just saying they promised this money, but who owns the money? The money owned by the people is being given to people as a form of promise.
Hello?
Please, Emmanuel. Hello, good morning.
Finally they speak. Good morning, no.
Hello, good morning.
Can you hear me now, please?
Good morning. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Good morning, Philip. Good morning, Rose. Mr. Emmanuel, good morning, no.
No, I think we're having network issues today because even when Evangelist Dixon called, we couldn't really hear him. Hello, good morning.
Can you hear me now? Is it echoing?
Yes,
Is it better? Hello?
No,
can you hear me?
Cannot. No,
okay.
Cannot hear. No.
I think the toll-free line is a bit bad. No problem.
All right. You can send a text, please, Mrs. Oboli. We love to hear your thoughts, but I think network is a bit iffy this morning. Yes, please, Emmanuel, you have a question for Soludo.
So the question is, who wants the money? See, that's why I say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. The money these people are spending, inducing you with, is not their money. it's very hard for a political leader in this part of the world to take his own hard-earned money. What he's looking at is taking more from you. This is why you have a
Hello?
lot of corruption cases
Hello, good
that the
morning.
FCT are trying to sort.
Hello, good
Is it
morning.
better now?
Oh,
Is
yes,
it
it's much
better?
better.
Good
Yes.
morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Boli. I almost said Mrs. Soludo. I'm so sorry. My name is Boli.
Don't worry. I'm not being wife. Oh.
No, you're not.
Mr. Emmanuel, good morning. Rose, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
How was your weekend, sir?
Fine, thank God, ma.
Because we've been told that it's only on your side that weekend is soft. Rose and Fumi, do you concur?
That was, what did you say?
It's only on your side that weekend is soft, so I don't know if it is true. So quickly, let me chime in on this morning's discourse. My question really is this. Why exactly
We cannot hear you, Mrs. Boli. The last thing we heard you say is what? Why exactly? Nah, today's network. These are the issues. Really, this is what we're talking about. No, we can't. Imano, we're already running out of time. I think in what you can wrap up your thoughts.
So basically, laws are insufficient without enforcement. And if Amokithan, the new INEC boss, wants to make a mark, I think he needs to start with this statement by Charles Soludo. Let's see what INEC will do about this. But the money is for the people,
Hello.
not for the governor.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Please, what's your name and where are you
Yeah.
calling from?
Yeah. This is Ade. Ade from Shagam.
Okay. Hi, Ade. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
All right. So I want to comment on the newspaper review. Best. I can say that it's very fantastic. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Emmanuel, for your analysis. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, just calling. Thank you. Thank you so much. We were waiting for you to say something, so we're not used to our callers calling to just say thank you. They call with fire. Madam, please go ahead.
So I think for me, Anambra people will decide whether they want to be bought over or not. But the truth has always remained. Nobody sells his or her birthright and enjoys what is meant for them. So if they want to take the part of Esau, deliver your word and get 1 million naira. But that 1 million naira, even if you are going to get, you are going to sweat for it. Because see, if Soludo releases the money, some people will sit on the money. And that is if Soludo himself releases the money after they've won, some people will sit on the money. And the question I keep asking is the money going to come from Charles Soludo's pocket or the state government coffers? I think the people of Anambra State can answer that, not me.
Thank you. Over to you, Rose, please.
What a good way to just end it there. It's the people of Anambra that should actually, sit down and look at what is really going on and make a choice for themselves. Because just like Emmanuel said, if you walk, it go show. People go see up and then go vote you. You know how it pass like that.
Absolutely.
You don't even have to go around and be campaigning up and down or be trying to poke people to come out and vote for you. Then we come out and vote because people have conscience.
Yes.
And people love to see the dividends of democracy. People like to see that things are working.
Yes.
So it's just, I don't know why they feel like Nigerians, they will always buy them with something. It's money for something. But meanwhile, a lot of people will collect your money and go and do what they want to do. But still upon still, let's see how all of this, gets to turn out. Hopefully, the people of Anambra are wiser and they know what to do. All right, so this is what we call it a day on the newspaper review. We're so sorry about the network today. It's just turning on your own and doing one kind, but hopefully tomorrow will be better. Thank you so much, Imana, for being a part of the program this morning. We do appreciate your insight and all of
Yeah.
the buzz that you released this morning.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
You also have a great day and enjoy the week ahead, Emmanuel. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So for me, I think this is where we wrap it up. Thank you all so much for your
Yes.
time and your
Yes. Yes.
messages.
Yes.
Let's do this again tomorrow. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser.
My name is Fumi Bangbala. Do have a lovely day.